Hello and welcome to BlueTube, where we talk all things blue. And what a game, guys. This is our second win so far this season, and I am absolutely over the moon. And before I go in and talk about this game any further, a lot of people are saying, and this is only Maccabi Tel Aviv, it's an Israeli team. Good job, Chelsea, in a really sarcastic way. But guess what? Even though we played against a really crappy team in the opening Champions League game, we won. Right? We got the 3 points, we got 4 goals, and that's something that Arsenal just cannot say. Arsenal, man, oh my god. And by the way, I will talk more about the Arsenal game near to the back end of this video, and because these two games are so close to each other, and I think this video is actually going to come out on Friday, because of that, I can kind of make this video about a review of this game and a preview of Saturday's game. And actually, if any of you are subscribed to Chelsea TV, you'll know that they actually have a show called The Preview Review with Ben Andrews running it, and along with Pat Nevin or something. So I thought I'd just mention that. And also, two things before I get into the game. If my voice sounds a bit weird or a bit low or a bit just cringy in general, it's because I actually have a cold, and it's probably not very good to talk for 20-30 minutes. But who cares? We won. I definitely did not want to miss this game out, and there is a lot going on right now, so I don't have a lot of time for this. And actually, that's the reason that the video's out on Friday, not on Thursday, because let me guys just tell you, like for 30 seconds, for me, the match is on at Wednesday at 10:45 in the evening in my country, which is a lot better than some other countries. And then when daylight savings time is over, it's at 11:45 in the evening, and it goes on to like 1:45 in the morning. So obviously I can't make the video then because everyone in my house is sleeping. So I sleep, I go to school on Thursday, I wake up, and I come back from school, I get the homework done, I do all the stuff I need to do, and then I film the video on Thursday. And I'm actually filming this video on Thursday at 8 o'clock in the evening. And then now, if I actually edit this and upload this on YouTube, it'll take about 10 hours to upload because my internet is so slow. So that's why, even though I'm really filming this on Thursday, I can only get it out on Friday, if you guys get the gist. And also, finally, before I promise I will talk about this video, I will talk about this game, I promise. The reason I'm wearing this kit is because, firstly, I didn't buy the new jersey yet. I will buy it, I promise. I said this before, I will buy. And you may be wondering what kit this actually is, and I actually really like this kit. This is from 2 seasons ago, when Mourinho first came back. So this does have sentimental value, I guess. And so Lampard's name on the back. Tears. We miss you, Lampard. Actually, we didn't miss him in this game, which I will get to. But actually, I need to put this in a better angle. I forgot to move that. Anyway, and also, I want to draw some parallels between this season and the 2013-14 season, which is where this jersey's from, which is why I'm wearing this and not last season's kit. But let's talk about the game. But actually, no, I'm gonna drink some water first. Okay, so prior to this game, we had 5 games. I said this before as well. 3 losses, 1 draw, 1 meager win that we had to hold on to for the last 10-20 minutes against West Brom away. And this game had huge, build up to it, especially for a Chelsea fan. There's loads of speculation about, is Mourinho gonna lose his job? Is this a repeat of Rosenberg all over again? If you guys don't know who that is, in the 2007-08 season, no wait, no. In the 07-08 season, the season that Mourinho got sacked, he actually got sacked after the opening Champions League game against, Rosenberg, a relatively lower tier team, similarly to Maccabi. So people were saying this is that repeating itself all over. This is history repeating itself. No, it's not. We beat them 4-0. Let's get into the game. So the starting 11, right from the beginning, I knew in my heart. Let me tell you this. Before the game started, this was one of those games where I genuinely lost hope. I genuinely was feeling pessimistic. I thought, the best we're going to do is get a 2-1, but my prediction was a 1-1 going into this. And before this, for all of the other games against Crystal Palace, against Swansea, against City, against who else was there? The guy against Everton. I was feeling optimistic because I'm an optimist. I like to see life on the positives. I don't see the point of being pessimistic, right? But this game, I genuinely lost hope. I've been going into it, I was just like, oh God, let's just hope we don't lose this. Because imagine the negative press we and Mourinho would receive if we had lost this game. And I just wasn't hopeful at all. But Mourinho, he was like, don't worry, bro. Don't worry at all. I'm going to take out Ivanovic. I'm going to take out Diego Costa. But actually, he played well. But let me get into that. I'm going to take out... Actually, no, that was it. But no, I'm going to take out Matic. And he made changes. So basically, Baba Rahman started on the left with Azpilicueta going on the right. Gary Cahill came in for John Terry to add some pace into that back line. And Gary Cahill actually wore the armband, and I think he played very well today. I'll get to that. Fabregas played alongside Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Both of them amazing today. And Fabregas, when I saw him, I was a bit like, is this really what we want to be doing? When I saw him in the starting 11 before the game started, but he proved himself today. The three above them was Hazard, Oscar, Willian, and when I saw that kind of made me feel nostalgic of last season, because that's the three that we went with every time. And for some reason, when I saw Willian's name on there instead of Pedro's, I just felt a sense of security, and I don't know what that is. Maybe it's just because last season they were so good as a trio, and I feel like in a way those three right now, those three are stronger than the partnership between Hazard, Willian and Pedro, which is what we've been playing for the last few games. And Oscar, back from injury, he played very, very well. And by the way, Pedro was actually injured, which is why he didn't play, I think. But I think it was good to see Oscar, Hazard and Willian play as a trio again. And then Loic Remy started up front, who surprisingly did well, because he hasn't played a game in about a month. So you'd think he wouldn't be fit enough to play a match. Because that's been the story of Chelsea's players so far. No one's fit to play. But Loic Remy, after not playing for so long, comes in and does a good job. And obviously Begovic in goal, because Courtois is out with a knee injury. Guys, I'm going to be drinking water a lot because my throat is killing me. Okay, so, right from the beginning, we looked good. We looked surprisingly good. Loftus-Cheek, especially from minute 1 to minute 90, impressed me. And for me, even the commentator on beIN Sports said this. For me, Ruben Loftus-Cheek was the best Chelsea player out there today. And I'm not saying that to say that everyone else played badly. I'm saying everyone played well. But Loftus-Cheek just had that extra edge, and he could really be a big player for us this season. And I do believe that, as Mourinho said last season, this season could be Loftus-Cheek's breakthrough season. His season where he can say, I belong in Chelsea's starting 11. And that excites me. That's really an exciting prospect. The first, really the first academy player to break through into Chelsea's first team since John Terry. And maybe Ruben Loftus-Cheek can be a future captain, but that's just way too far down the pipeline to say anything about. But he did impress. Gary Cahill, as I said, I think he had an amazing performance. And to be fair, prior to this game, if you told me Gary Cahill is going to start alongside Zuma, I would have told you that I prefer Terry and Zuma together. Because I think Terry just has that extra leadership quality, a commanding kind of air about him, and just his organization, his defensive positioning, and just the way he organizes others is unmatched by really anybody in world football, or maybe only by the top captains around the world. Really the only place where I saw that as a problem for me personally was there was a set piece in the first half where we just gave them an open header. And by the way, guys, don't let the scoreline fool you. And I want to say, I don't want to, I want to be happy, I want to be optimistic. I want to say, we're going to win every game until the end of the season now. But this game, our defense wasn't amazing as well. It is a clean sheet. I'm very happy with that. Our first clean sheet of the season. Let that sink in compared to last season. It's crazy. But they had 3 incredible chances. 1 open header from a set piece, and really 2 tap-ins, which they should have converted. And that's 3 goals right there. So by no means was this just a walkthrough. Actually, no. I feel like I'm lying to you guys, because it was easy for us, to be fair. But they did have 3 brilliant chances. One of them, from a set piece. And I feel like if John Terry was there, he would have just commanded everyone. You get him. I stay here. You get that zone. We're gonna do this. And then we wouldn't have allowed at least a free header inside the box, because that scared me. And I think the score was 1-0 or 2-0 at that time. So that did kind of make my heart jump. But Gary, other than that, and also the last 10 minutes or so, Maccabi, they did press forward. And really, it feels like the players just lost their concentration. They were 4-0 up, they were happy, they were like, who even cares anymore? But, Gary Cahill knew the importance of getting a clean sheet. So he was defending his life off. He was jumping in front of balls, he was deflecting everything, he was doing everything he could. But I feel like if John Terry was there, he would have just found a way to motivate the players. Say, come on, we want to get this clean sheet. Everybody work hard, don't switch off, keep focusing. But, to be fair, Gary Cahill, individually, he played very, very well. In the captain role, I do think there is room for improvement. But you know what? He is, to be fair, the vice captain for now. I do think he can be a potential future captain. And you know what? I have nothing against it. I think he'd make a great captain for us a few years down the line. But anyway. Great game. Baba Rahman, he was insane. Maybe it was just because Ivanovic wasn't playing that everybody else on the pitch looked that much better. And no disrespect to Branislav, because I love the guy, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of respect for him, I have a lot of loyalty for him. He's been at the club for the last, 7 seasons now. I do have a lot of love for the guy. He just needs a rest. I think he needs a further rest against Arsenal, and I do think this season could be a transitional season for him. I genuinely think that. Because Baba Rahman has come in with a blinding performance, really, I do think Ivanovic could be slowly phased out of the starting 11, which is sad. It's always sad to see players phased out when they've been at the club for so long. Of course, I don't think Ivanovic is at the same level as Lampard and Drogba was, but it is similar to that, and as a fan it feels similar. And as I said, Lampard on my back, it's kind of like a legend. You could say Ivanovic is a legend. I consider him a legend, because he's done so much for him. What am I talking about? Let's talk about the game. Baba Rahman, as I said, amazing. I do think defensively he can do better. I think defensively maybe Felipe Luis was better than him, but to be fair, Felipe Luis played in probably the best Atletico Madrid team in the last decade, and he did play in a team that played in the Champions League final before joining us. Whereas Baba Rahman played at Augsburg, who did do well, who did do very well in the Bundesliga last season. But really the thing that really caught my eye about Baba Rahman was his pace, first of all, his power, and just his ability to bomb down the left-hand side. And whenever Hazard got the ball, you can see Baba Rahman running at 200 miles per hour or kilometers per hour, depending on where you live, just bombing down that left-hand side. And he was so fast, and his crossing, I do think you could see that there was venom in the crosses. The way he whipped them in, there was a special thing about it. It's just his accuracy could have been better. I don't think it was a perfect performance by any means, but definitely an improvement to Ivanovic. And of course, Azpilicueta shifted off to that Ivanovic position. He played amazing as well. His closing down, I said this last game actually, Azpilicueta, but all of the defenders in general are lacking that tightness that they have. And Azpilicueta definitely had that today. He would get in. I think Loftus-Cheek had that today as well. He would always get in, do everything he could do at the ball. He would stay tight. He would make the person's life miserable. And that's what we want. We want people's lives to be miserable. But as I said, Baba Rahman, amazing. I want him to start against Arsenal. Azpilicueta, amazing. I want him to start against Arsenal. And really, to be honest, the center back positions, I don't know who I'd take out. Or maybe I don't take anyone out at all. I genuinely don't know. And I think I have a problem, but a good problem. Because Cahill, Zuma, and Terry, in my opinion, are all really quality defenders. And maybe against Arsenal, we take out Terry. But for Terry to miss 2 games in a row could be making a statement that we don't want to make. Sorry. But, you know, if he doesn't play, I'd be perfectly happy with Cahill and Zuma. But, you know, maybe Terry could get unsettled at the club because he is such a legend at the club. And I do think this season could be the last season that Terry plays a big role in our team, and that's a very, very sad statement to say. This is a topic for its own video because Terry just deserves that. But you know what? We'll see what happens on Saturday. We'll see what Mourinho has under his hat or under his sleeve or whatever the saying is. Midfield, as I said, Loftus-Cheek, incredible, best player on the pitch. Fabregas, surprisingly, guys, my throat is killing me. I'm sorry. Oh no, this is not a good idea. This was not a good idea. Okay, Fabregas, as I said, Fabregas, surprisingly good. Of course, prior to this game, he has just been disappearing. Against Everton, if you saw his statistics, they were shocking. And that perfectly reflected what was on the pitch, because he did nothing. And that was similar to Hazard as well. I'll get to Hazard. I think that's a really interesting one. But Fabregas, obviously he did get the goal, but that was on a fast break, brilliantly orchestrated by Chelsea. But of course he did get the fourth goal, so the game was over by then, but it's great to see him get the goal. Last season, it did take him a while to get his first goal. I think it is quicker this season, which maybe it's good to see. But I prefer the Fabregas of last season, if you ask me. But he did get the goal, and what made me very, very happy was this. His cross to Diego Costa, and Costa converting. It was just typical of last season. And if you guys remember, in fact, last season's Arsenal game, of course this was at the Emirates, while tomorrow's game is at home. But cross to Costa, Costa converts. And that was a theme through the first half of last season. And one of the reasons that why we were so great, and to see that happen today was really, really good. And I'll get to the goals a bit later. But also Fabregas, aside from the goal, aside from the assist, just his general play, the way he, you know, positioned himself. And I think the fact that Loftus-Cheek was there really helped him, because Loftus-Cheek was so good defensively as well as offensively. I think he's really a Lampard-type player, a box-to-box guy. But also, defensively, because Maccabi weren't really a dominant team, I think it is possible to play Fabregas alongside Loftus-Cheek, who are relatively attacking players, if you ask me. But Loftus-Cheek, he can break up those plays. He's very, very good defensively, so I think you can play that against Maccabi. I think Jose got his tactics perfect today. Just perfect. By the way, this video could go on for a while, because it's our first win, our second win, but our first real, you know, emphatic win this season. And really a big, big moment for us. I think looking back at today's game, we could be thinking, that's the day, you know, when at the end of the season, when we win all 4 trophies, we could be looking back at this game and just thinking, that's when our season turned around. And I'll talk more about just the whole perspective, gaining a perspective later on. But this video could go on for 40, 50 minutes, guys. I don't know. But you guys will know if you just see in the time thing down there. But because I want to talk, guys, even though my throat is killing me. I don't even know what I was talking about. Fabregas, attacking, he was very, very good. And he had that quickness, that sharpness about him, his one-touch passing, his accurate passing, and that annoyed me so much throughout the first few games. If you guys will see in my previous match reviews, whenever Fabregas passed the ball, he would either pass it out of the pitch or pass it directly to an opposition player, which would set them on a counter-attack, which would mean that they would beat they beat our defense, because our defense lacked pace. But that didn't happen today. Fabregas, he had that accuracy, that sharpness, that just brilliance about him that he had last season, which is great to see. Hopefully he replicates that against Arsenal. But we will see that against Arsenal. Attacking 3, this is where it gets a bit more interesting. Oscar, as I said, fantastic. Coming back from injury, he did really make an impact. And I do think when Hazard, Oscar, and Fabregas, those 3 play together, there is just something special on the pitch. Because those 3 are players who can really play some quick one-touch football. They have a great awareness and a chemistry about each other, where when they're not even looking at them, they know where each other are. Those trio. And they kind of remind me of Mata, Oscar, and Hazard. And let's not talk about Mata, because that makes me cry, because I love the guy. But Hazard, Oscar, and Fabregas, they do have that special just feeling, that chemistry. What's the word I'm looking for? Synergy about them. They just do, and I like it when they play together. Oscar, as I said, fantastic. Made a big impact. Hazard, I'll get to a bit later. Willian played very well. I think he was really, for the first 15 minutes or however long he played, he was really one of the best Chelsea players there. The way I think he is better at that right-hand side rather than the number 10 where he's been playing for the last few games. Because obviously Pedro has been there, but Pedro is injured now it's not a serious injury, it's not like Courtois, but he's out for a few games. So I think in a way it's a good thing. Let's be optimistic. I need to gain my optimism again. You know, Willian, I do think he plays very well on that right hand side, especially against lower tier teams. So you can just bomb down that side, run past 2-3 players easy and whip that cross in. So I think it was good. As I said, I'll get to that later. Let's talk about Loic Remy first, who was in the starting 11. Loic Remy impressed me. As I said, you'd think he wouldn't be fit, you'd think he'd be sluggish, you'd think he'd just not be very good at all. For the first 15-20 minutes, he was very good at the striker role. Very capable. He wasn't offside, which if you watch the Community Shield game, that seemed like ages ago, man. Jesus. That was over a month ago in pre-season, the Community Shield game against Arsenal. He was offside the whole game, which every Chelsea fan in the world will look back with just disapproving thoughts. But he played well today, and of course he moved to that right-hand spot because Willian got injured with a hamstring injury. But it's thought to be not as serious as it was first thought. Apparently he'll be only out for a few games, similar to Pedro, but it kind of sucks to have Willian and Pedro out at the same time. So I literally just said let's be optimistic about this, but I was lying to you guys. So we should just succumb to anarchy and pessimism and just destroy the world. Hazard was good today. Let's talk about him. Actually, let's not talk about him. Let's talk about Diego Costa. But let's not talk about him. I need to drink water. Thanks for watching, guys. I can't do this any longer. Come on. Just let the blue lion within me roar. Guys, my throat is killing. But Costa was phenomenal. Costa, when he came on, because obviously Willian got injured, Loic Remy shifted to that right-hand side, where he did very well in my opinion, and Costa went to that striker role. He was phenomenal. If you see his goal, that was a world-class goal, potentially goal of the season for our club, but maybe not for the Champions League, because did you see Thomas Muller's goal and Florenzi's goal? Jesus Christ, man. This match day was insane. If you guys didn't see those goals, type in Miller goal versus, I can't remember, against the Olympiacos, where he just, incredible goal, and type in Florenzi goal versus Barcelona. That was insane as well. Just, oh my god, so many insane goals, but Costa's goal was definitely up there. The technique to convert Fabregas's cross with just to flick it into that, oh my god, just watch the highlights if you haven't. Sensational goal. And other than the goal, he just looked good. One of the things I loved, I adored about him today, was that he wasn't fighting with everyone. In fact, I think this is genuinely the first game this season where he hasn't picked up a fight, where he hasn't had this face on for 90 minutes. He was happy. There was just a happiness about him. And I think he plays better when he's happy, when he's not trying to pick a fight with everyone that he sees. So Costa, fair play. I love you like this. Please, against Arsenal, I want him to start. I want you to start. I'm talking to you, Diego. But don't pick a fight with anyone. In fact, actually, what was good about him last season was that he picked a fight, but he did it to get into their head, and it didn't get to his head. But I feel like this season, he's picking fights with everyone, and it's getting to his head more than it's getting to their heads. So, pick a fight if you want, but keep it controlled. And don't pick a fight with everyone. But Costa, brilliant. I want him to start against Arsenal. Left mid, Hazard, and this is something interesting to talk about. And if you guys saw, 5 minutes into the game, Willian got a penalty for us, and penalty kicks. Hazard scores. That's routine, right? Wrong. If you watch the highlights, you might want to just skip the first few seconds, just so you don't have to see Hazard's horrendous kick. I think it could have been up there with Sergio Ramos's penalty a few seasons back against Bayern Munich. He just skied it. It's still traveling today, and BBC were reporting on this. It might be hitting the International Space Station, so there is a genuine threat now. But yeah, it wasn't good. And I think that the commentator said that these very words, that just sums up where Chelsea are right now. To get a penalty in the 5th minute, and Hazard, one of the most prolific penalty takers in the world, really a conversion rate that's unheard of, misses it. He doesn't just miss it, skies it. And I think that just sums up Chelsea, but also sums up Hazard at the moment. And for the whole game, the commentator got it spot on, in my opinion. If you guys, I don't know his name. If you guys search up beIN Sports Chelsea Tel Aviv commentator, maybe you'll find him. I think he was brilliant. He said that when you can see how a player's psychological state of mind is by looking at his body language. And Hazard, where last season he was smiling, where he was trying things out, and whenever he tried things out and failed, he'd always smile to himself. He'd say, "I'll do better next time." You can just see he was happy. Today, he did not smile. He did not smile. When Chelsea scored, he was like, "Yeah, good job, we scored." But at the end of the game, it was 4-0. Hazard was like, "Yeah, we won." He was sad. You could see from it. And whenever he tried something and it didn't work out, he'd be doing this. And I think there is a big threat. There's a big hurdle that he has to go through. Because every top player goes through this, I think. From the Messis, the Ronaldos, the Suarez's, really any world-class player, maybe they don't go through it to the same degree as Hazard, but they do go through a phase where psychologically something's not right. And I think this is where the best of the best and just the okays are separated. The psychological psychological battle, and really nobody is better equipped to take him through this than Jose Mourinho. I'm confident he will get through this, but really, the reason that this epitomized his just current state of psychology is because a penalty doesn't really require any special skill. It's not really, you just bang it in. And in fact, Oscar had a penalty later on in the game, and really the fact that Hazard didn't step up to take it kind of shows you where he is right now, in terms of confidence. No, I have no water. I have another bottle, don't worry. But Hazard, it's not about skill. Penalties are about psychology more than anything. For him to sky it like that shows you everything. And really, for me, when I saw that happen, I was like, oh God, my worst fears are coming through. We're gonna lose against Tel Aviv. It's just gonna be one of those days. But guess what? Willie on 15th minute, one of the flukiest goals you'll ever see in your life. It was a goal nonetheless. And really, I was happy just to get that goal going. But also, Oscar, as I said, got a penalty in the 45th minute or into extra time. And really, that was really good build-up from Chelsea, to be honest. And it was a penalty. It was a deserved penalty. And if Hazard didn't step up, Oscar did. Oscar converted. We got the goal 2-0 up halftime. Easy peasy. Diego Costa, 58th minute. As I said, I have explained it already. Brilliant goal. And Cesc Fabregas, it was on a fast break. I said this before. With 4 players against 2 defenders, against 3 defenders or something. But really, the way we passed it around and the way the quick nature of the break was encouraging, and it was great to see a goal at the end of the fast break. So 4-0, very happy. And I know this video has been long. It's been probably over 30 minutes now or something. But I want to just say, actually, do I want to say a quick word? My throat is killing me. I don't know what to say. Against Arsenal, let me just quickly go through the lineup that I want to see and tell you my prediction for tomorrow's game. Hopefully it comes true, but fingers crossed it will, but who knows. The starting 11 that I want to see: Begovic in goal. Back 4, Babaraman, Azpilicueta, Gary Cahill, Zuma. I think that's the best lineup, the best back 4, for Arsenal, just because of their quick passing play, just the way they're intricately pass the ball around. those four. Two defensive midfielders. You know what? It's really hard to drop any one of Loftus-Cheek or Fabregas because they both had an amazing performance. But I think playing them both would be naive of us because they're both, as I said, attacking players. And against a team like Arsenal, we do need one of those defensive midfielders to just play that role where they sit back and have that stability. And I really want Matic to play. So I'd say Matic alongside... This is hard, guys. This is so hard. Matic alongside Fabregas. It hurts me to say this, but just because that extra, experience, that extra, I don't know. I feel really sorry for Loftus-Cheek. I think he'd be really, as he was the best player for us against Tel Aviv. So it's crazy to drop him. But I just feel like Fabregas would be better equipped for this game, which hurts me to say. So Matic, Fabregas. I'm sorry, Loftus-Cheek. I think he deserves a place. I feel crazy saying this. Front three. I actually haven't thought about. I probably should have thought about this before I made the video. Because we don't have Willian or Pedro. Do we put in Bertrand Traoré? Actually, Bertrand Traoré played a part in yesterday's game as well, which was good to see. He didn't really do anything huge. He didn't make a big impact, but it's good to see that these youngsters are getting a chance. But anyway, I would stick in Remy at right mid, just like against Tel Aviv. Oscar, center attacking mid. And I would stick with Hazard. And this is controversial. And there's an article on goal.com saying it's time for Hazard to be benched. I disagree as a Chelsea fan. I want him to play. I do think even when he's having a bad day, compared to other players, he has a relatively good game. So I want Hazard to play. And striker Diego Costa, because he's being a beast against Tel Aviv. Hopefully he doesn't pick a fight with everyone, but only time will tell. And my prediction, I know this video has been long, but stay with me. My throat. My prediction for tomorrow, it's crazy to say that we're gonna win, but I feel optimistic, guys. I feel good about this game. I'm gonna say 2-1 to Chelsea. 2-1. And imagine, guys, as I said, I think this game could be a turning point for us. We win here, opening game, only English club to win on opening day. Man U lost 2-1. Man City lost 2-1 at home. Arsenal lost 2-1. Chelsea wins 4-0. And then to win against Arsenal back to back, that could be huge for us. And for the confidence of the players, this could be huge. And just imagine, prior to these games, they were saying Mourinho's gonna get sacked. It's a chaos. But if we win against Arsenal, everything's gonna go away. Mourinho knows the importance of this game, and I'm sure because he has really just that ability to get us through big games. Hopefully, he can get us through this one last time, or not this one last time, this one more time, because he just knows. And also, if you think about it, Arsenal, they lost 2-1. They're flying back from Russia, and they have a game to prepare against us on Saturday. So I think compared to us, who played at home and won 4-0, we're in much better conditions to win this game. And I do think we are favorites now, just seeing how the last few days it has developed. And that kind of sums it up for today, guys. And as I said, because of the whole time, I said this in the beginning of the video, the time, oh my god, what's the word? The time zone, time difference, there we go. And because it takes so long to upload, the match review of the Arsenal game, there will be a match review. It definitely won't be up by Saturday. It might be up by Sunday. It may not be, but it will definitely be up by Monday, which I know is late, but that's just how it is right now. My life is too busy. I'm too busy for you. But there will be a video. So if there isn't a video out by Sunday, don't worry. It will be up by Monday. But also, before I end the video, I just want to talk a little bit about Luke Shaw. If you want, it's great to laugh about Man United. They lost 2-1, ha ha ha. But, it really is a shame. If you guys saw Luke Shaw, the video is scary. He did break his leg. He is out for at least this season, I think, which is terrible to see for such a young player, to 19 years of age, 20 years of age. Really touted as being one of the next English players to really break onto that global scene. To suffer an injury to this degree, it really is a shame. I don't know how that wasn't a penalty, to be honest. I know there's a lot of debate about that, and I do think Man United deserved a penalty there. I do think the PSV defender should have been sent off, but it's heartbreaking to see things like this happen. It is part of the game, but Luke Shaw, hopefully this isn't career ending. Hopefully after the injury he can pick up from where he left off. But you know, we know what can happen when players suffer big injuries, but hopefully this isn't one of those cases. And I'm sorry I have to end the video on such a depressing note after such a happy game, but that's just how it is. Luke Shaw, if you're watching this, which you're probably not, but hopefully, you know, maybe you are, I don't know how this world works. Hopefully, you know, cheer up. I've heard terrible stories about this whole thing, but hopefully, you know, as I said, this isn't career ending. But let's get back on a good note. Guys, first Champions League game, 4-0 win at home, first home win this season. Hopefully we can get back-to-back home wins by winning against Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. But we will see that tomorrow, and I will be back with a match review on either Sunday or Monday. And until then, stay blue. Oh my god, man.